Hey guys, Martin here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the STR Videl that now has her EZA on the global side. The thing about Videl straight off the bat that is going to be a little bit annoying, I guess, in terms of trying to see her at her full potential is she only has two 200% leaders currently, which is Int Yamcha, who obviously is a little bit outdated now, and the new STR Roshi that came out today, so the newest Dokkan Fest, who a lot of people aren't going to have, and to be honest, most people shouldn't really summon for, right? I talked about it in my summon or skip video. I've done the 55% showcase for him using a friend unit because he's pretty good, but even I didn't summon for him, right? So it's going to be tough to see her at her full potential all the time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's not going to be good. Like 170 teams can still beat difficult events, but I do like to do the initial showcases on 200% teams. But of course, bear in mind, if you are running her on her own lead or any other 170 teams, the numbers are going to be a little bit lower. But of course, she is Rainbow full level 10 links. Her super attack, the Videl Rush, does infinite attack stack, greatly raised defense for 1 turn and does immense damage to the enemy. But then she also has a unit super, which is greatly raise attack, which is an infinite stack, greatly raised defense for 1 turn, immense damage to the enemy, and massively lowers defense. So she basically raises her attack by more and has the defense lowering. And you get this when there is an ally whose name includes Gohan Teen, Ultimate Gohan, or Great Saiyaman on the team. So it doesn't have to be on the rotation, just on the team to get the unit super. And then her passive is Key 2, attack and defense 180, great chance to dodge before attacking, so 70%, additional 158% when attacking, attack that is, when attacking, performs a crit, and all allies Key 2 within the same turn after receiving an attack. So if you put her in slot 1 and she dodges, she then gets a guaranteed crit. Additional attack attack and defense 58% and launch an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super within the same turn after receiving an attack, and then attacks effective against all types and launches an additional super as the first or second attacker in the turn. Attack and defense 158% and great chance to dodge as the third attacker in the turn. Additional attack and defense 30% up to 50 with each attack evaded. So she had a similar sort of thing with her pre-EZA passive, where ideally, in order to get all of her buffs, you want her to dodge and get hit in slot 1. Because when she has dodged an attack, she gets a guaranteed crit and gives allies 2 key. And then she gets an extra 58% attack and defense and an additional attack that can be a super if she receives an attack. So ideally, you do want both to happen. Which of course means running her in slot 1, taking that risk on the 70% chance to dodge, or you can use her as a slot 3 unit where she is going to have the 70% dodge chance all the time, as well as some extra stats. And then of course she does have the active skill, can be activated when there's an ally whose name includes Gohan Teen, Ultimate Gohan, or Great Saiyaman from the 4th turn, and it gives her a permanent 20% attack buff but 20% defense debuff for the rest of the battle. So if we take a look at her here on the first turn, we've got 217k defense. There's only 1 attack in slot 1. So we can go for it here and see if she does get the dodge. Fortunately, she's not a unit that has to worry about orbs or anything like that. Like, you don't need a certain number of orbs or anything. We can get the orbs that we need with Bulma, which then gives everybody a little bit of support. So we're at 250k. So hopefully, I mean, realistically, in this turn, we would rather she just dodges rather than gets hit. So there's the dodge. That means she's going to get the guaranteed crit. Starts off at 9.7 for the first attack. That is pretty good. And then, of course, any additionals that we get, remember, we are going to be infinitely stacking more. It's just going to be the non-unit super, so the normal raise. So she goes up to 10 mil. Then we receive an attack. Obviously, that then gives her a little bit of a buff. So if she is taking a bunch of hits afterwards, she does at least get a defense buff from being hit the first time. She would, of course, then unlock getting the additional attack, but she's already finished attacking. So like I say, ideally, you do want her to dodge an attack and take an attack in slot 1 if you're putting her in slot 1, because then you get the full part of her passive unlocked, which can obviously be very handy. He hasn't supered yet, has he? Is he going to super Yamcha? I mean, Yamcha is a dodge or die character for like any of the actual difficult content now, but I mean, as long as he does dodge, then, you know, it's okay. But he just has to actually dodge, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm using Yamcha as the leader because I didn't summon for Roshi. I am using a friend Roshi though. So obviously he not only gives the 200% lead, he also gives support as well. So I'll probably just have him floating. to provide some extra support. So we can just go ahead and do this, I think, here for this turn, because obviously UI Goku on his first turn just gets guaranteed dodge anyway. Go ahead and do this, and then do this. No unit super for Roshi, because obviously this Krillin is from the 23rd World Tournament, so he's not Krillin Youth, and we don't have a Kid Goku on the team. But by floating Roshi off here, we can set up a rotation where we have Bulma, Videl, and Roshi, which is a very good rotation for all of them, because Roshi is supporting them both. There's 2 Peppy Gal's allies on the team and a Bulma, so he's going to get his full passive active. Bulma's going to be supporting everybody as well. So that should be a very strong rotation. And then we'll have also gotten more stacks off with Videl by that point as well. So Roshi able to tank relatively well here. He got sealed, so obviously he didn't super, but tanks all the normals for double digits, so that's fine. Oh, Gohan's first appearance was in slot on this turn, eh? Well, I guess we'll do this then. Does she share any links with this Gohan? Oh, they share Cold Judgment. Like, they don't share a lot of links, but Cold Judgment is a good one, right? At level 10, it is an extra 25% defense. So 353k defense here. And bear in mind, we're going to get greatly raising on our super. We should hopefully get the additional as well. In slot 2, obviously she's not going to get hit or anything, but we are getting the extra attack when attacking. She doesn't get extra defense apart from in slot 3 from her passive, or unless she gets hit. So she's going to get a greatly raise, hopefully twice, which is going to put her at somewhere around like 600, 700k defense. Then if she does get hit once, she gets another 58% buff. So her defense will be pretty good. Obviously in slot 2, after she's attacked, she then doesn't have any dodge chance. And this is why she kind of aged out when she did, because you could either put her in slot 3 and just hope for dodges, and then she'd be fine. See, my one, I haven't really touched her build since she got her EZA, so I think you definitely could benefit from giving her some dodge in the hidden potential. But let's make sure, yeah, we get the 5 orbs for Bulma. We're not going to get any stacks for Gohan because he's not going to get to attack here, but it is what it is. Because, yeah, Bulma shouldn't kill. And then Videl hopefully gets a couple of attacks off here. Oh, Bulma got sealed, so that's perfect. 10.8 for Videl. Can we get the additional as well? Yeah, there's a 9.4 crit, up to 11.5. This is just with the Bulma support on rotation. And then, yeah, she takes double-digit damage, gets the defense buff. There's a dodge as well. Which, the thing is, the fun thing about getting the dodge is that because her dodging, the guaranteed crit part is pointless, but it gives all allies 2 ki. So that can activate mid-turn, and that actually could be useful. Like, if the unit in slot 3 was not Gohan, let's say was an LR, and we were only able to get 16 ki because of the orbs, her getting that dodge in the middle would then mean that that LR at the end can then actually do their 18 ki super. So that's quite useful. Alright, so I think we probably will just stick with this like this. Krillin, I kept Krillin on the team because he links relatively well with Roshi, but then we're not really going to end up using them together anyway. So UI Goku is going to get these dodges in slot 1. That's good. Hopefully he gets supered here as well, because with all those dodges, he now basically has an 100% chance to dodge. So if he's going to super this turn, ideally he supers UI Goku. The additionals, of course, will be guaranteed crits. So we should do a... UI Goku should do a pretty decent amount of damage here, but we won't fly through this phase, even if he does get a 3rd super. Because Krillin and Yamcha... I mean, Krillin does actually hit relatively hard, but yeah, Krillin and Yamcha aren't going to suddenly just go ham here and destroy Buhan. Come on, Buhan. Super UI Goku, what are you doing? Okay, 7.7. I mean, Krillin can tank it. Yamcha would have to dodge, I think. Otherwise, he probably just gets instantly obliterated. This guy can be attack lowered as well, which is useful. Bruh, he really is just saving up the super for Yamcha, isn't he? I mean, 8.4, considering how old Yamcha is, like, it's not a terrible attack, but he does need to rely on dodging in order to survive a super here. Okay, didn't dodge, but double digits from the normal, we'll take that. Okay, so this is probably one of the more annoying setups for Videl, though, in the sense that if there is no attack in slot 1, you don't really get any benefit from putting her in slot 1. We get the Infighter link active here with Roshi. 400k defense, start of turn. I mean, do we go for the active skill and see what she's like here? I mean, her defense is obviously going to go down, but I guess the point of the showcase is we want to see everything that she's doing, right? So let's go ahead and use the active skill here.
You prefer girls with short hair? Is that it?
No, I just thought having shorter hair would be advantageous in, in a fight.
Mind your own business. It's my hair, so I'll do
Good old
what I want
oblivious
with it.
Gohan. All right, so let's see. We get the 5 orbs for you to get the support. So she's at 359k. Bear in mind it was at 400 and that was without the Bulma support. So she is type neutral as well. I guess we could do the Roshi active skill, which means we're going to get a bit of a buff for everybody. Because now she's at 494k. Yeah, obviously this is going to be a very good turn because she's going to get the attack buff from the active skill as well. All this support, like absolutely a stellar rotation for both Videl and Roshi here, because he's got 2 Peppy Gal's allies and a Bulma ally, so he's getting an insane amount of extra attack, and it's the active skill turn. Bulma should tank this or just dodge. Full dodge Bulma build for the win. 25.6 million. Okay. I mean, I was expecting a good turn, but yeah, 25 mil into a 27. That's pretty good. Now we need a proper, like, a good Peppy Gal's 200% team. Like, Roshi having the lead is weird. Like, we need an actual, like, Peppy Gal's Carnival LR. But there you go, triple super, which means she greatly raised her defense 3 times and then gets hit and gets an extra 58% as well. So she's potentially, like, at 1 million defense at that point, which is pretty good. Obviously, she doesn't have any other defensive tech, right? So if she's in slot 2, if she's not getting a dodge, she is relying on her full defense, and the dodge is only going to come from her hidden potential if she's in slot 2. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty good. Gohan's locked in slot 1. He's only at 238k because he only gets a 170 lead from both Roshi and Yamcha, I think. So that's a bit awkward. I mean, I guess I could use the other Senzu Bean here, but then we are going to be at the mercy of wherever Videl's going to end up getting potentially locked on the next turn. So we'll go ahead and do this. Ideally, we want there to be some attacks in slot 1 next turn and actually be able to put Videl in slot 1. See if she can get a dodge and get hit turn. But yeah, very, very strong turn last turn. Bulma support plus the Roshi active obviously gives a lot of extra firepower, but I mean, she did over 75 million worth attack stat with those 3 supers. Definitely very, very good. So, I mean, her EZA, whilst not the same, and I would say even potentially not as good, but her EZA does remind me of Kefla, right? So it's like once she gets going, she's just going to do multiple supers that do big damage. But I think Kefla does more damage quicker. Videl having the 70% chance to dodge, like especially if you just have her in slot 1, because that would be a very scary scenario where if you have to put Kefla in slot 1 on a turn and then the orbs don't go your way, then her dodging is not always a thing, right, that's going to happen. But Videl, the 70% chance to dodge in slot 1, definitely very useful. But yeah, like I say at the beginning, it's a little bit of a shame that we are on the... Actually, I just realised with how low his attack stats are and how much they're not going up with each super. I think he might actually not be on Roshi's leader skill, right? Because Roshi is it Turtle School and Dragon Ball Saga? I actually forgot. I thought I'd bring a Roshi friend just for the support for Videl, but yeah, it's DB Saga or Turtle School. And then, yeah, so Gohan's only getting the leader skill from Yamcha, and it's only a 170. So, oh, good. So Yamcha's locked in slot 1. So we might not actually even get to see Videl attack again here, but we'll just have to hope for the best. So we'll do this. I don't want to get all the orbs for Bulma because I don't want her to kill. So let's get those. And then I guess we just grab these. And we just have to rely on the dodging from Yamcha here. But, okay, there's one. There's two. Good. Okay. He should... well, this guy is physical, though. Well, he might not tank for double digits, but he won't get killed by a normal if he doesn't dodge a normal attack post-super here. But we just have to hope that Boo doesn't super him, and then he doesn't dodge that. Nice. Okay, there you go. Perfect dodge turn for Yamcha. That's what we like to see. And so remember, Videl in slot 3 gets the extra 158% attack and defense, as well as having that dodge chance. So, when we're getting supered, 120k, that's, you know, is what it is, I guess. And then, yeah, 26 million. So that's in slot 3 getting that extra buff. That's without having the Roshi support and active skill. And that's how hard she's hitting. So if she was on some more teams, especially teams that like had a Gohan, so you can be getting that unit super attack, like as a slot 3 unit on some of these teams, she'd actually be very, very good and able to put out a pretty significant amount of damage. So I think that's a good place to end that off there. Definitely solid in terms of attack. I think the problem is just the teams that she's on, and then, you know, I think she's probably going to be at the best in slot 3 if you are running her on like the 170 lead teams, because she had what, 250k defense start of turn 1 with double 200% lead. So if you're running her on a 170 team, it's going to be a lot lower than that. So if you're not getting that 70% dodge in slot 1, she's going to take a lot of damage. But in slot 3, she gets a lot of extra stats. She still obviously has the ability to get the extra attack and defense if she receives an attack. So in slot 3, after supering, her raw defense should be high enough that she can tank a normal, get a bit of extra defense. Don't know if that would then allow her to survive a super, especially from some of the tougher bosses, but she would still be able to tank normals relatively well, and she can do a pretty decent amount of damage. So overall, I would say she's definitely a very solid EZA. The only problem is just the fact that with very few 200% teams, you are going to be running her at a slightly lower output, but she can still be pretty good. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.